Hope y'all can hear me. I got these headphones today. Oh, look where I'm at. No, just put one in the chat if you guys can hear me, or I'll take these stupid headphones off so you can hear. I don't know if some of y'all not up this early. Wingapo, peace. Yes, please like and share the video out so more people can get out here and hear this information. I know it's early, but if you share the video out, they'll be able to come back and watch it like on your timeline or whatever. Please put one in the chat. Let me know you can hear me. I'm trying to get all these people in the camera. And I can't hear the chat at all today. Okay. Let's see if I can turn it around. It'll probably be better for y'all can see without my big head in it. So look at this, y'all. I thought these two pillars or gateways were very interesting in place there. It's like no necessary function for that. All right. I'm not trying out the new gimbal today, y'all. So, let's see here, people taking pictures. I got sports and such. All right. Y'all gotta let me know if y'all can hear because I don't see any chat right now. Some of y'all just on here being nosy. Let's see. I do not see no chat on here. So let me just get into the information right now since nobody's chatting today. I'm up too early for y'all. For my regular, my day one, I'm too early for y'all. I really think I am. All right. I hope y'all can hear me because I'm just want to take these off. And y'all gonna have to hear me through this. Hopefully y'all can hear me. Please somebody put one in the chat so I know the chat and everything is working. So we're gonna get into the information. Talking about DC, MLK, and the Nacotchtank tribe or the Anacostia tribe that used to be here. Trying to get people in this camera. So this area here, now called the District of Columbia or Washington, D.C., was once the homeland for the Nacotchtank or the Anacostia tribe or nation. There were several different tribes here. Nacotchtank was the actual one of the tribes, and Anacostia was one of the main nations.
No, so I actually want to take grab photos here, but I don't want to do the most. You know,
No, do it.
No, it's just
So,
like there's a lot of things to take for granted. Like,
please share the video out, y'all, so people can see it now. Or should I share it out? It won't even let me share it out. Oh, it does let me share it out. I'll put it on my community page or whatever. Or whatever. Y'all gotta be... I don't know if y'all not interacting because y'all can't hear or what's going on. Guys, I'm just gonna get the information. Y'all can find it later. Take a seat. It might be too dark in here, but whatever. I gotta sit down. So, the tribe that used to live here is the Nacotchtank. Now, they're related to the Powhatan Nation as well, the Powhatan Confederacy, excuse me, because they're the Nacotchtank Nation. And within 40 years of colonization of the Europeans coming to Washington, D.C. area, they claim that the whole nation of the Nacotchtank was eliminated, or they claim that they died from diseases, right? And then the rest of them were enslaved. Now, the very few that they say survived were taken in by the Piscataway and other neighboring tribes. But they claim that the majority were killed by disease or enslavement. So you have to think, okay, they try to say that we are the slaves. So why don't they tell people that we are the American Indians as well, right? So those people who are descended from them. How can you have all these history classes, African American studies, hundreds, well, probably history's only been around 100 years than the school structure, but how can you have all those hundreds of thousands of hours of these scholarly curriculums, and not once in these curriculums have they ever mentioned indigenous slavery or American Indian slavery? Does that make any sense at all? So you got a question like, who were these slaves? Let me take these things off because this ain't even on. Who? I can't even hear because of that. Who were these slaves? Right? Did I cut the chat off or something? Because I don't see any chats on here. It's kind of distracting me because I'm used to interacting with you guys, especially this early. Maybe I should come out and come back in. You don't think it's not gonna let me do that, is it? I'm gonna try to come out and come back in, y'all. Okay. All right, I hope y'all are still there. I have no idea why there's no chat still, but I'm gonna continue even though it's loud over here. So yeah. And, so like I was saying, they have all these classes, right? Probably out of all of these colleges in the United States, there's like maybe 2 different curriculums for American Indian history, right? And how many of them for African American history? Probably at least 100, right? At least at the HBCUs, you know. I'm not sure what number of HBCUs that we're at now because a lot of them have been closing down. Even though in the last couple of years Trump has signed, you know, several bills funding them, or I don't know if exactly it was bills, but they gave a lot of funding to keep a lot of these schools open because the alma maters will graduate from them and not give any money back, you know. Public or other private universities, most of the alma mater people who have graduated, who have become successful from studying and learning at these schools, they usually give money back and help keep things running because all the time the tuition doesn't cover everything, right? They don't cover all the teachers and things like that. So you really have to think, like, why don't we have a lot of these things available? It's because we don't fund them, right? And then you get people out of office who did fund them, but that's a whole other story. Now, those people aren't perfect. I'm definitely not going to say that. But you have to, if you want certain things done, you're going to have to
get them done yourself, right? Which a lot of us aren't doing, or you're gonna have to ask for them to be done. So, anyways, back to the natural tank. So the natural tank or the Anacostias used to live in this area, right? So Washington D.C. is built on a large vortex of energy. It's a large. If you look at the map, and you see that they took advantage of these vortex of energies. You know who they are by putting certain buildings on there and using certain stones in the building. Now I showed y'all a couple of videos back. Y'all go back to the video talking about the Patawomek, that area that we went to, that I went to by myself as usual. That was made into stone. It's a certain type of stone. I'm not sure. I think it's limestone. So it's a certain type of stone that's found there that they chiseled away at this sacred site in Virginia. And they took that stone and they brought it up here because it's a good conducent or conductor of energy. I hope you guys can hear me because none of y'all are in the chat. I think I done extra chat out or something. So that's why all these things are made from a certain stone. Y'all see the nice sleek white stone? That's exactly what it is. So some of y'all just getting in here. We're at MLK monument, and as you can see, his monument is made out of that same stone that you'll see right over there across the water at the Washington Monument. Okay, and probably over there too at Jefferson and Lincoln and all these other ones that they have here. Okay, so oh, you're not in front of me. It's okay. So yeah, you have to look at these maps and see these ley lines and these energy vortex that they have here. Okay, so the indigenous people knew that, and this area was mostly used as a political gathering place. I'm gonna let the plane go overhead. So this place was used as a political gathering place, okay, which we called a caucus, right? Caucus, and many of you are familiar with what we have now called the Black Caucus, right? So all of these things are not new. All of these things are built on what the indigenous people already have here. So don't let them make you think that we were primitive here before. We are still here, and we still have our structure here. It's just another structure is on top of it, right? Just like many of things. So Capitol Hill, that whole area of Capitol Hill was the main area that we held our caucuses for the Powhatan Confederacy. All right, so when we had to sign treaties, we had to do big political agreements, big tax, yes, because we pay taxes. Y'all keep saying Indian tax. We pay taxes to each other, to our nations, to our governments, because otherwise, how can we get anything done? So we had, this is where they will come to trade the, to give up the major taxes. So our taxes were corn, things like corn, beaver skins, deer skins, weapons, stuff like that was used to give to Paramount Chief and the Paramount Council at that time. Okay. So this area has always been a political area, and it's going to continue to be a political area. Okay, please share the video out, you guys. Please like it. I see I got 28 watching and 27 thumbs up. I appreciate it, y'all, because it helps the channel get exposure. All right, and if you share it out, of course other people can watch the video and get exposure and listen to this information. All right, I'm not just a talking head here. I'm out here giving information for a reason, and I don't hear anybody else giving this information, so I have to do it. That's the Leo in me. If nobody else is doing it, it's like, Do it yourself. You got to do it, right? It's people. I'm the only person that can give this information. I'm not saying that I'm the only one that knows it. I'm the only one to give this information the way that it can be given. So, but anyways, appreciate. Oh, some more thumbs up. I don't know what's up with the chat, y'all. It's not gonna let me do it. I'm not trying to reset it anyway, so I'm just gonna keep chattering. Y'all know I'm an introvert, so I'm like looking like, where's the chat? y'all motivate me. Y'all boost me up, y'all. You keep me going. I'm out here like with a lot of people too, so I think I might get up. But I wanted y'all to make sure y'all saw the monument too. And the energy here, there's a lot of energy here. Now this monument is lined up with the Washington Monument as well as across with the Lincoln Memorial across the river. And y'all see the airport is not that far. It's across the river, so that's why it's so loud. The airport is across the river. But yeah, we're gonna get into some more about this tribe. Now, a lot of the information about this tribe is not available. Would go to the Library of Congress and look up some more stuff, but that's not open, right? The library there is not open, as it usually would be on Saturday. I don't think any of the libraries are open in DC. In Virginia, the libraries are partially open for pickups, but you can't really get into the good stuff like at the reference section or the genealogy section where I usually go to. So not really a point to getting Dr. Seuss books, picking up Dr. Seuss books out of the library or whatever else. Because a lot of those other books I own. It's just the reference section has the more expensive books that cost a lot. And it's hard to get your hands on too. But anyways, let's get back to the subject because I'm getting off subject. I obviously need y'all to give me a... I might get going because there's like a whole mob of tourists coming in. So I might... Let me get moving, y'all. Keep it moving. And it's noisy. So here, looking still. It's so loud. I'm telling you, I'm not gonna be able to do what I need. I can't think straight with all this noise. I really can't. But anyways, we're gonna get back into the tribe, like I was saying. So if you look up information on this tribe, they will tell you that these people were enslaved, okay? The American Indians that were in Washington, D.C. were enslaved. And you have to think, okay, so where do they go? They will tell you that they sent some of them to the Caribbean, right? And some of them stayed here. Now, how come nobody in the... I keep saying it over and over again. How come nobody in the Caribbean still looks like Geronimo and Sitting Bull and all those people? Why do people in the Caribbean look the way that they look? But those people are the descendants of these nations that was here, right? The nation, the Nacotchtank that were in Washington, D.C., that was enslaved. Those people are the descendants. Y'all can hear me because it's so loud. It's like a big, it's called big bus. It's a big bus here, people getting off. So. But yeah, you have to ask these logical questions that they never answer. You have to ask yourself, okay? So that's the question that's never answered. What happened to the Nacotchtank, the Nansantinko, various other tribes that lived in this area? Port Tobacco tribe. There's a whole bunch of tribes that lived in this DMV area. So you have to think, what happened to all those tribes that were enslaved here, okay? Those people are currently the people that are calling themselves African Americans. Okay, this area had the largest domestic slave breeding farms here. Okay, so all these indigenous people who were enslaved, they were used on these farms, right? So why are people acting like we are talking crazy, saying that we are the descendants of those people? Y'all want to push this slave narrative on us and saying we slave this, slave that. But when you really look at the information, and you look up the history, you will see that those slaves, a large percent of them, right, and they'll tell you that the majority of slaves that were traded in America are the domestic slaves. Domestic meaning coming from America. And then they will say most of the Native Americans, quote unquote, or American Indians, were either killed out by disease or enslaved. Tell me how what we're saying doesn't make sense if the history is telling you that they enslaved these people, okay? So y'all gotta look for the truth. They tell you the truth, but then they tell you lies, right? So they give you primary sources that are the truth, right? And then they present it to you with these authority figures and these so-called professionals and Skip and all of them. And they present it to you a different way. So you really got to open your eyes, all of them, all three of them, and look and find out the truth, right? So I'm telling you to look up this information. Look up to your local tribe and see what happened to them. If you're from Virginia, you're going to see that these people were wiped out by disease, right? DC, Virginia, Maryland. Wiped out by disease, allegedly, or enslaved, okay? Now, where do a lot of so-called African Americans descend from? Where? Virginia, right? DC, Maryland, North Carolina, South Carolina. All right, so that is a lot of proof right there. Now, I'm not saying everybody, I never said everybody. I've been consistent over the last 5 or 6 years. And I'll say, oh yeah, we can see the numbers. There were some Africans that are imported, right? And we see the number is dwindling every year. Like when I started, they were saying 500,000, which is what, 3 to 5%. Then it went down to 350, right? Then it went down to 3. Then it went down to 256. Now you got Skip Gates talking about 90,000. So, and then all those people, like I've been saying forever, all those people weren't the native Africans. Okay, they sold off the foreigners first, and they will tell you that. Like when you try to attack these certain Yoruba clans who were not just Yoruba, but other clans who made a lot of money selling off people who were enslaved there. All those people that were enslaved there were not the native people. They took a lot of people from other parts of Africa, right? Took people from the Nile Valley. They took people from Central Africa. They took people from southern, other parts, just all other areas, right? And as well as we had the people who came from the Slave Lakes, the Pawnees, a lot of those Algonquin people from Canada who were shipped over there, right? Shipped over there. And I told y'all to look up the voyage of Senegal. I told y'all this 5 years ago, look up voyage of Senegal, and they show you the actual, what they did, right? They took a lot of those Canadian Algonquin people over to Africa. Now why does nobody over in West Africa look like Tonto? Right? Why? These planes get out of hand. Why does no one from West Africa look like Geronimo, Sitting Bull, right? Okay, so these people from Canada, from northern North America, were taken to West Africa, to Senegal, right? Other tribes, Choctaw and other tribes, were taken over there as well. How come none of those people look like that? Okay, you gotta ask logical questions here. Nobody's saying nothing crazy. We're saying logical questions, right? And this is stuff I've been saying for years, and been getting attacked, and now it's like finally catching on, right? Because other people are listening, right? And other people are coming across this stuff in their research as well. So it's not just me saying pseudo stuff. There's actually academic journals and things discussing what I said, right? And what I came upon in my own research, right? All right, so please give a thumb up. Please like this video, share it out. My little thumb. Please share it out. You see it's dirty. I'll show y'all the other video. I was touching this tree. It's a crazy looking tree. Where is that at? It's a crazy looking tree. But yeah, y'all gotta think. You gotta think. Think for yourself. Don't just take my word for it. Go research. Go look up the Voyage to Senegal book. Right? There's plenty other books. Look in, I'm gonna put in the description box my link tree. So y'all can look that up, Linktree, Tasha Xi. And look at my book list on there. There's a lot of books that are in there that give a lot of good information. This one called Africans and Native Americans by Jack D. Forbes, and gives a lot of information about how they took indigenous slaves from here over to Europe and to Africa. And it was this trade, right? Different people. They wanted to mix the people up. They wanted to create a black cast, right? And we talked about, I put the short, I think some of y'all saw the short. I put the short talking about with Brandon T. Jackson, talking about that he's not black, right? And black, look up the etymology of black. This squirrel's just running in front of me. Yeah, so that's currently a status. Now, I personally I don't get upset or hate on people if they want to call themselves black. Do what you want to do. You got the right to self-identify. But when we say it, it's not in a way that we hate ourselves or whatever. We don't this and that, or whatever y'all said about Bow Wow and people like that who have talked about their American Indian roots. But y'all really have to start digging at this point, because people are going to try to tell you who you are. All right? And you have to know who you are so you can stand on it. There's no more time for people just saying that they're indigenous or they're Aboriginal or American Indian. You gotta know or be searching for, if you can't find out, these tribes that you come from, you descend from. Everybody needs to be doing that. All right? Oof. Yeah, I don't walk a mile from that dang statue, just about. I feel like it's a mile. It's probably going to say half a mile, or a quarter of a mile when I look it up. But we're now at the Roosevelt Memorial. It's probably only a quarter mile. I'm just being silly right now. Because I was walking a lot before I got on camera, but I was like, let me get on camera since I made it over to MLK. But yeah, here's Roosevelt. And I just found out this gimbal, I told y'all I got a new gimbal, right? This gimbal does not work for going live, so it's like, what is the point? But it does keep it a little steadier than the other thing I was using. Okay, so y'all see him? He's just sitting there on his wheelchair or whatever. So some people know that he had a lot of disabilities going on when he was in office that he was trying to hide, which we know the current the current it has this something similar going on, right? Y'all can see that. Nobody's impaired. You can see that. But anyways, let me sit down. It's getting a little later in the day, so more tourists are out. But we get into. I wish I could see the comments, but I can't. So, but yeah, you guys, you gotta keep your mind open to this information. You gotta keep searching. They'll tell you right in your face. So when I did the research, when I came back and did the research about the DC tribes, it told you right there that this tribe, the Nacotchtank, was killed off by disease and enslaved within the first 40 years. Okay, the first 40 years of contact. So this is in 1600s. And now we know, we looked up the facts, that they didn't import Africans in until what? Late 1700s, mid to late 1700s. Right, so they had already built this system with indentured servitude from the Europeans, both pale and melanated. And then they had the American Indians. Now you look up John Eliot. I told y'all about John Eliot before. He wrote the first American Bible. And the first American Bible is in the Algonquian language. And like I told y'all, a lot of the people that were enslaved, right, they're from here, the Nacotchtank are Algonquin speakers. All those tribes, the Pawnee that were in Canada, a lot of those other tribes up north, the Pequot that were taken, enslaved in the Caribbean and sent elsewhere. Most of those people spoke Algonquin, right? So they had the Bible in the Algonquin language to give to the slaves, the enslaved people. Why would they have the Bible in Algonquin? Y'all gotta put two and two, 3 and 3, 4 and 4. It's too much evidence. It's too much. Like I'm telling y'all, every day y'all see me posting. If y'all follow me on social media, please follow me on Twitter. I don't have enough people on Twitter, so I haven't been really popping on Twitter that much. Follow me on TikTok. I'm on TikTok now too. So every day I'm posting, and there's other people who are posting information that's making evidence to this claim that we're making, right? Even our own genealogy is giving evidence to these claims. Why would the Bible be in Algonquin and given to slaves if the slaves were not Algonquin? How could they read the Bible if it was in Algonquin? You know? Where did all those millions of American Indians who were enslaved go? Okay? So they told you where they went. They said they were enslaved on their own land. And I showed y'all that the national parks are all built on American Indian towns that were plantations at one time. So they went from American Indian towns, right? They enslaved those people and created the plantations. And then the plantations basically flunked after the Civil War and came in despair. And the states or the state governments bought them up and turned them to national parks. So now there are a lot of national parks that were those towns. So once they start digging in, a lot of them aren't digging there. Once they start doing archaeology in those places, they're going to find the bones of these people, right? So they did these things strategically, because when they go digging in these places, they're going to say that those people were slaves, right? Those people were slaves. So they have an excuse. They're not going to say that those were the indigenous people, right? So they're going to make it look like, and they're doing it. They're doing that in Virginia right now. They're doing it in North Carolina and several other sites. Well, they'll dig in an area that at one time was a plantation, and then they'll say all these remains were slaves, African slaves, but not giving out the full information, telling people that those were American Indian towns, right? So you always got to dig deeper on these. No, you can do the research like I've done, and every plantation in Virginia that I looked up is probably 100 left. Every plantation in Virginia used to be an American Indian town. And when you look up the American Indian tribes in Virginia, you will see that they claim that they died from disease, right? Or they were enslaved. Where did the slaves go? Y'all crying about the slave ships, but where did the enslaved people go? Right? So they would like you believe that they paid billions of dollars to import. They said 100 million, right? But now the numbers are saying, I'll give them 252,000 in North America. That's North America includes Canada, y'all. North America includes parts of Mexico. So in North America, 252,000 imported Africans. Okay, so how did they get from 252,000 to 4 million people at the end of emancipation? You gotta use your brain. They're gonna try to use it for you if you don't use it for yourself, right? They're gonna they're gonna keep putting out information until you believe it. But then at the same time, if you look at the primary source of things, they will give you the true information, right? So, I don't know. I don't know why these people are so loud when they hear I'm on. They see I'm talking. So, anyways, look it up. I'm telling y'all where to look. I believe you can still go on the Library of Congress on their digital library and look up some of these things, right? Look up the ship manifest. They'll tell you how many people were on the ships, okay? So when I went there, y'all saw the video, y'all can go back and look at that video. I wasn't allowed to bring any cameras inside. I had to put all my stuff away. I wasn't allowed to record inside down there in the silos, what they called it, the alcoves. I couldn't go live down there anyways because the connection was so poor. But you look up the information, go look for your state, in your area, look up the ship manifest, right? You will see that most of those ships were merchant ships. They were not specifically for picking and carrying and dropping off enslaved people. Look on what is in the cargo, right? They have these people listed as passengers, okay? And I told you they had one ship coming from Nigeria with one little girl on there as a passenger, okay? They'll have like 150, some of the ships went up to 150 people, but they're listed as passengers on this ship. Now, if you look again, like I told y'all, most of the ships, most of the slavery in North America and the United States is domestic slavery. And I went in my other video, y'all can connect all these dots. I went in my other video to Alexandria, Virginia, to those domestic slave port. Now, Alexandria, Virginia, right? I told y'all the largest breeding farm is in the DMV. That's DC, Maryland, Virginia. So Alexandria, Virginia had the largest domestic slave port. And those people went to the second largest domestic slave port, which was New Orleans, Louisiana. Okay, so a lot of the people who are from New Orleans, I done said this a million times, descend from the people who are from Virginia, DC, Maryland, and North Carolina, because the people from North Carolina, a lot of them came down from Virginia. So this Nacotchtank tribe that was here in Washington, D.C., I'm probably 100% positive that a lot of the people who live in New Orleans now or who are from New Orleans descend from that tribe. Okay? A lot of those people descend from the Nacotchtank or the Anacostia tribe, which were from the Powhatan Confederacy. A lot of people in New Orleans descend from them. A lot of people in South Carolina. South Carolina was probably the third port. Charleston, I believe, Charleston, South Carolina. It's probably the third largest port, but the first where they, I wouldn't say manufactured, but they bred a lot of slaves using Piscataway, the Nacotchtank, uh, what's other, Nanticoke, Port Tobacco, all these different tribes, the Nantico who were left, well, a lot of them became free people of color. They took these people and they might have mixed some of them with Africans, but those were the indigenous people, okay? Those were the indigenous people that they used to breed on these breeding farms. I don't know how many times I'm going to have to keep saying that. I wish I could see the chat, y'all, because I feel like I'm rambling. And people just looking at me. Y'all can't see them, but this was just, I was looking and standing around out like they weren't listening, but they were listening. Like, I got my Coco Pelli on today. So I got stuff to say. But please share the video out, y'all. Please share it out now. Been on here talking for like 41 minutes. And it's a good day. It's a good day out here. But you guys got to really dig deep and listen and learn. Like, if you start doing the research, you're going to be hearing things, right? It's going to be ideas coming into your mind. And those are the ancestors telling you what direction to go to find out more information. But a lot of us don't research. We'd rather go and listen to what somebody else say and take their word instead of looking for ourselves. And we really need to be looking for ourselves. So I gave y'all the Voyage to Sierra Leone to look into. African and Native Americans by John D. Forbes. There's another book called The Strenuous Puritan that I told y'all about. I can't remember the name of the author, but it's about them taking the indigenous people of New England, mainly the Pequot, and taking them and exchanging them as cannibal Negroes, right? So they call these people cannibal Negroes, and they use them to trade into the Caribbean, right, to get money to fund the Plymouth plantation, as they called it, Plymouth, the settlement, right? So look up all those things. There's more books. Like I said, look at my book list. It's hundreds of books on there that you guys can buy and enjoy. I do get a little coin. I think they give me like 3% of a dollar. Like, what is that? 3 pennies? 3% on a dollar from that. So I don't get anything, but I put it together on Amazon because most of us shop on Amazon. I know I do. When you get your books fast, and they have a way that they partner with us content creators. It's easy to, to create a list on there. So, because I had tried to do it before and it was just really difficult, but there I can just go onto my account and just save stuff, whatever I come across. So, I have a whole book list for just genealogy books as well. So. The book, the genealogy books are mostly general. There's some books that will give you information on certain tribes, like the Nodaway. I think there's one talking about Black Hawk's descendants, the Indian chief Black Hawk. So please look on that genealogy book list as well, because you might get a lot of hits on there. A lot of us get stuck on certain things, but it's stuck because some of the information is local, right? 80% of the information, genealogy information, is not online yet. So you really have to read these books, right? It's not going to be searchable. And you got to get to these locations, right? So I really wish I could read the questions. I really want to dive in there and answer questions, but I can't see nothing. I can't see anything, right? And I'm by water. I feel like I'm getting swollen up. Y'all know how I get by the water. So I hope that this gave y'all some insight on what's going on. I didn't really get much into MLK. Well, I'll get into MLK a little bit. Well, MLK, on both sides of his family are descended from the Creek people, as well as his wife. I believe his wife is Chickasaw and she's Creek. So she has both ancestry. And that's one of the things that they really didn't, like during that civil rights movement, the people really didn't disclose that information about their heritage. Even dealing with the, uh, what is that? See this noise? I'm about to get up and move, y'all, because it's too much noise. Every time I try to talk, it's like noise and people and planes and trains and automobiles. Foolishness going on. Anyways, so yeah, Martin Luther King, a lot of those people, y'all know Jesse, Messy Jesse, he's Cherokee, right? A lot of those people um, that were involved in the civil rights movement or the Indian rights movement, y'all look a little deeper, those were descendants of American Indians, right? Rosa Parks, y'all can look at Rosa Parks and see that. She looked like the stereotypical, she like the stereotypical Indian grandma, right? I'm telling you, a lot of those people, John Lewis, a lot of them people involved in that. Look on the other side of that movement with the Pan Africans, the pro black people. You see them. Now you hear them coming out talking about their indigenous ancestries, being descendants of Pocahontas and all these things. So they present, like I told y'all, primary sources are there, but then they'll get these representatives that look like us, or even the representatives that don't look like us, who they parade in front of us as authority. It's so loud, y'all. But they parade these people in front of us as authorities, and that's what happens. We get mixed up. And we believe falsehoods because they tell us. And some of the people are misinformed. All of them are not purposely trying to deceive people. Right? They'll listen to someone else, one of their teachers or professors or these authority figures like Skip, who tried to tell people that they're not American Indian and that we're mixed with European only. Right? And that man's own family say that they're Cherokee. So he went on a tirade trying to tell these people that in his own family were basically killing his grandma, who told him that she's Cherokee, and saying, no, we really descend from Caucasian men, pale men at that. Because he won't tell y'all about the melanated Europeans. So I'm just saying, you got to do research on yourself. These people that they present in front of you, especially people on TV, all of them are not sincere. They have their own agenda and reasons why they're not telling you certain information, of course. And then a lot of people want to think that they are superior because they know more, right? And then the people, they're oath takers and initiated. So they hide. But it's beautiful out here, y'all. It's finally a little bit quiet now, right? That's the only thing about the city when I lived here. It was so noisy. So noisy. The buses, everything was loud. Even children playing was loud. Everything's loud here. Loud and expensive. not inexpensive. But yeah, so y'all really got to dig deep into that information. Dig deep into it and find the truth out of it. Because y'all, they driving crazy here. I know they see these pedestrian signs. They like, I'm like, are they filming a movie or something? Because y'all acting like y'all running from the law. It's ridiculous. Okay. So I'm going to ask the question again. What happened to the descendants, the enslaved descendants of the Nacotchtank, the Anacostia? And y'all from D.C. know Anacostia, right? Y'all know there's an area in D.C. Southeast Anacostia, the Anacostia River, Anacostia High School. They put the names in plain sight, right? And those that know is not going to forget, but everybody else just see Anacostia just like it's nothing. That's a spell in itself, them putting this stuff in plain sight. Then you can't say that they didn't tell you, because they did tell you. You just didn't. They just masked it with a lot of BS. With Skip Gates and his friends, and Jesse and his friends, right? I wanted to show y'all this giant tree stump. So these trees here were huge. That showed that they're thousands of years old. Well, let me show you this one here. And this thing on gimbal keeps shaking. Look how large this tree stump is. So this tree was right by the river now. I told y'all in that Harriet, so y'all see how big it is. That's how wide the tree was. So I told y'all in the video about Harriet, the Harriet movie. Y'all can look that up. This the spirituality behind that, about the oak tree. Ooh, I'm about to fall, y'all. I was about to fall, picking up that stupid water bottle. But I told y'all about, look, it's beautiful. See the water? It's actually pretty clean now. Whoever the new mayor is doing their thing. I think really Fenty started this, Mayor Fenty. For those that don't know, Mayor Fenty is related to Rihanna. That's her cousin. But yeah, Mayor Fenty did a lot to clean up this messy city. What was I talking about? The oak tree. Okay, the spirituality of the oak tree. They would purposely line a lot of the oak trees by the river for spiritual reasons. The oak trees open up gateways. The Nacommo, I told you about last video, the little people, little spiritual people, they used to live in the oak trees. So some of the oak trees, you will see these big opening at the bottom of it. And you think that they're animals or something, but people used to say that the Nacommo lived there. And they would take little prayer bundles and things like that, like tobacco and different herbs and things that they like, crystals and stuff. And they're tied up in a little, they'll put in a little pouch and tie a little tie around it, because they didn't have plastic bags or whatever. They had leather bags, fur bags, and they'll put it in their little hole. Let me see. I don't see any out here. They'll probably scare them away. But they will put little bundles in there. Sometimes they put little bundles in there for the Nacommos. All right, and I told y'all in December, January area time which they now have the Christmas holiday. So when we used to celebrate the Nacommos, and we give gifts and try to outdo each other with how many gifts, the best gift that we would give to each other, gift exchange. So, nope, I thought that was a little, they don't have that many over here. So, yeah, that's what they did. But, you know, cutting down those type of trees, I guess maybe it was a hazard. But cutting those type of trees down is not good unless you're like clearing the forest or something. But if you can see out here, it's a lot of these large trees. Oops. Hold on, let me flip it around. It's a lot of these large trees. Not as large as that one. This one's pretty large. They're still out here by the water. And I told you about this little crust, this white crust on the outside, and this green. So you can tell it's got the flaky bark. That's how you know it's a white oak. No, they go there jamming to Beyonce. Let me hurry up and get out of here before I get a flag or whatever. They on the water jamming to Beyonce, y'all. I think it's somebody actually singing. But anyways, yeah, please thumbs up, share it out. This camera about to die in a minute. It's gonna go to the other side. Child, this thing about to die on me. But y'all, they having a good time over there. What boat is that? Let's see. I don't know what that boat is. It's like a little steamboat or something. Yeah, but they having a good time over there, y'all. We find out. They got a party boat. Somebody's little yacht over there. But so yeah, keep in mind, stay in nature, y'all. Get into nature. Get into let y'all see the monument over here. People are just yelling and hollering. I think they're playing soccer. So y'all see the city gets active at a certain time. I think probably like 10:30. So everybody's awoken. But yeah. I'm getting bit up by mosquitoes and all type of things. But we gotta get into the spirituality, y'all. Because the spirituality connects everything. It connects everything. It tells you where to look at. Right? Not no spooky stuff. I'm not talking about no spooky stuff, right? It's nature and it's science. Right? You're honoring your environment. Yeah, taking care of your environment is part of the spirituality too. Can't be littering and stuff. Can't let other people litter. There's some weird y'all, I keep seeing these weird trees. Y'all remember that old cocoon one yesterday? I mean, not yesterday, the other day. Look at this thing. Like, what is going on? And you gotta be thinking, like, some of these things, it may seem natural, but could be manipulated by the indigenous people. Because look how these roots are twisted. It's like somebody like twisted the tree around when they planted it and just kept twisting and twisting. You see how look around like it's little marks, but then you see this part of the tree is not. So what tree is this? This looks like a birch. This is either a birch or a chestnut tree. But look how it's twisted. You see it? You can definitely see that. Okay, look at this. But anyways. I wish I could read the questions. I do not see any chat. Y'all gotta let me know if I cut the chat off or something. It's very bizarre today. Let's sit down.
No. I wasn't saying because we walked so long. I'm saying literally, because once you get across the bridge, you're pretty much there.
All right, I'm back, y'all. Y'all know what it is. I always, it always dies on me. I told y'all it was dying, but whatever. So, yeah. And then when I came back up to get to my car to put the dang on charger on. That's when I saw the little tree holes thing at the bottom of the tree. But I'm not going back out there because the phone gonna die if I do, y'all. Oh my gosh, I appreciate y'all so much. I wish I could see the chat still, but I must have hit something. I must have hit something on here. It says, oh, look at this, y'all. Ah, this is cool. This must came with the update. Oh, okay. So I don't see my old sweaty face. Look at that. It's cool. All right, I know I'm getting on y'all nerves. I just didn't know you could do that. Ah. Okay, let me put it back on normal. But anyways, y'all, so just telling y'all, look where the information leads you. Look where the information leads you. So y'all connect all these videos that I did this year. I think I did them all this year. The video at Leesylvania Park showing that the plantations used to be Indian villages, right? I did that video. I did the video on the Nacotchtank. I believe that was last year though. Nacotchtank, talking about the tribe that were taken off their village, right? The village was changed into a plantation, and the adults were sent to Antigua as slaves, and the children were enslaved on that village site or on other local sites from that tribe, right, and surrounding tribes. Then what was the other one? We did the one about the slave ship. I did the one about the slave ships at the Library of Congress. All these things come together. I forget the other one. Oh, the one at that place of the Potawatomi tribe, that big stone plaza or whatever, that spiritual site. We connected all those things today, right? They took the stone from there to build the Washington Monument and all these different monuments. I believe the White House they used it for, Capitol Hill, a lot of different government sites. I always say a lot of different. That doesn't even sound good. Different government sites in Washington, D.C. They took those stones from Virginia and that sacred site. And I told you this whole thing is built on the ley lines. It's built on the electric energy that our ancestors used to harvest. They knew with the mounds and all these different technology that we had, because the mounds are technology, they knew certain energies could be harvested, right? They could connect to the Great Spirit, to other deities, and just overall change the narrative for like the health of the tribe, right? War things, they went there to get energy for war, stuff like that. So like I said, this area was the political area, and it's still the political area. All they do is mount, right? Mount like you mount a horse. All they do is mount on top of our energy, okay? All through the United States, the people who came and invaded, right? And they were both pale, and they were both brown like us too. They mounted our energy. It's a spell, you guys. Those people who are into these energies know that it's a spell, without a doubt, okay? So when you mount on top of something else, you take on that energy. You take on that energy. Just like you'll see like these celebrities imitating Madonna, or they're imitating Marilyn Monroe or Biggie Smalls, whoever, Tupac, whoever they're imitating, they're mounting that energy on top of them. You see them do that to Whitney Houston. They did that when she was alive, right? Certain people, they would just steal their essence, as it's called. And if y'all watched The Dark Crystals, which was a movie in the 80s, I think it was the 80s or 70s, and now like it's on Netflix. I think it's still there. But it was on Netflix last year as a series. they'll show these and these things that invaded that planet that these creatures are on, and they were mount energy and still essence. They were still the essence of the people, so that they would live and they could survive on that planet. Sounds very familiar. So that's what they did with this whole city of Washington, D.C. It's a theft of essence and energy. Okay. So the whole city is a big vortex. Look on the map and you'll see how they did it with the obelisk. Where is it? Over there, which is the monument, the national monument. What does the obelisk look like? Right? Y'all know what that looks like, a male phallus. And then you look over at the, where is it? I don't think I'm over at that location. Thomas Jefferson or the Lincoln Memorial, you'll see that there are two domes, right? That's the female energy, the breast, right? That sounds crazy. But I know the Hotep's been talking about that for a long time, but it's very true. The energy is there. Okay, the energy is there. So those areas that they're on top of now, I'm pretty sure that those were sacred indigenous sites that we had here. So the Nacotchtank lived here, right? They maintained the area, which was the capital, Capitol Hill, all the capital areas. So when the diplomats, the chiefs and tribal councils and people came to town, the Nacotchtank would host those people, right? They'll host them in their town. So that's like, just like what we do now, Southern hospitality. You host people, you got beds for them, you got food for them, you know, take them around where they need to go, stuff like that. So you gotta know this history so that you know what's going on today. A lot of our people especially, don't like history. What we need history for? History don't do nothing. Forget about history. We got to get our land back now. No, you need to know how the dang on land was stolen in the first place. How are you going to have any type of plan, anything that makes any sense to get anything done today if you don't know what happened? Right? So like if a crime is committed, don't they ask you what happened here? How did it happen? How did you get into the state of being right now? You got to know the history. And then on top of that, you got to know your own genealogy so you know what part your ancestors played in all this. What side are you on, right? Just trying to make some sense here. So we got to use our brains. Can't be listening to the news, listening to a lot of these textbooks, because we know they neuter and they butcher these textbooks. We know that the textbooks, the people who work on them, they don't get to put everything that they want to put in the books, right? They don't, not at all. So look into these subjects yourself. This, now that it's summertime, a lot of the children out of school, for those who don't homeschool, this is the time to be taking your children to these places and giving them the real information about these locations. Just like I told you about Washington, D.C. I mean, I don't cuss on here, so y'all can show the children these videos. I don't know if they're watching now. You can show them these videos, or you can just tell them yourself the information. Look up some more and have them look it up and try to find the true information. That's another thing we can get our children to do. Have the children, because they're going to be coming up with a lot of stuff that we didn't. Children take a good look at details, or they see stuff that we don't see as adults because we're veiled, right? We're under the spell of, you got to survive and things like that. So have the children look up, have them make a report, or just give a verbal report, record a video of them doing that, things like that. Okay, so that would be something. I mean, if y'all want to do that, we could make that a challenge, and y'all just tag me on it on Instagram or Facebook if y'all want to do that. Have your children give a report about their culture or the local sites. Don't have to go far. Like a lot of us don't even explore local sites. I know people who, some of y'all who live in this area, be looking like, where are you at, Tasha? Where is this place? I've never been in this place. So I'm just exploring the local sites out here, and y'all can do that in your area too. You know. So before y'all be trying to go to Cancun and all these places, y'all should be Tulum, because they don't Negrofied Tulum now. they don't they don't made Tulum ratchet. Y'all can explore places here. Like we don't see, I don't, when I'm at these parks, y'all can see in the camera these Caucasians ride by on the bikes and stuff. I don't see a lot of us at these parks. We need to be getting back to the park. Now the 80s, I saw there was a lot of people when I was little. I remember seeing a lot of us at the parks. Not anymore. They're taking us out our element. They want us in these cities. They want us in the hood. They don't want us in nature, because the nature is going to connect us to our power, right? But it's going to activate something in us, right? So if you look back, our ancestors and our spirituality, they knew the power of the trees, right? The oak trees, all these different trees, willow. They got Grandma Willow on the stupid Pocahontas movie. They don't even talk about the energy from these trees. So they would have the priesthoods, and where they would have the place where they do a lot of the ceremonies at. Those would be deep in the woods. It had to be under a wooden canopy. You can't have it exposed where people can see it from far away, for one thing. The enemies could see from far away, and you really didn't want the regular folks all in the mix either. All right. So it was for the priesthood, for those people initiated in those secret societies. Now, American Indians had lots of different secret societies, and it wasn't like strict like they have today, right? Most people didn't care. It wasn't like they were just hiding stuff from people. It's like the regular average person who just going to grind their corn or hunt for deer. They didn't care to know this information, so it's not like they went to seek it out. Now, if that person wanted to be initiated, they could get this information. That's just how they did it. So you just had a ceremony for the person, and they were initiated, and they could learn the information if they wanted. But you had to be dedicated. So most people didn't have time for it, and it wasn't like it was hidden. I'll just say that, so anybody could join. But most people just weren't, just like today, like a lot of people aren't conscious. They don't want the information. They don't care. So the information is out there for most people nowadays. People don't care. All right, so that's how the secret societies in America was. All right, and some of the symbolism, you'll see them wearing certain things like the apron. The men would wear those, and those were the different secret society apron. They will have their, whatever their symbol is most of the time like an animal or some type of a sigil on those aprons. And now today you have like the Freemasons and people wearing wearing the same, like I tell you, they come and mount the energy, wearing the same aprons. So you know, but back then, like I said, you didn't have to be, it wasn't strict, it wasn't. And then again, some of the medicine women weren't initiated. They did their own thing. They were recluse, they were hermits, as they call them. You know, most of like an introvert people were the medicine people, right? And they live out in the woods, like I said, deep in the woods by themselves. They do their thing. Most of the medicine women, you couldn't really be a medicine woman until you lost your cycle. So once you start going to menopause, that's when they thought women were wise in a lot of the different societies. I'm speaking from the Powhatan or a certain Algonquin perspective. But once you became in that state, then you were allowed to be a medicine woman officially. But you can practice medicine. That's what it's called, practice. You can practice medicine before that, but people wouldn't really come to you as a healer until you were an elder woman, right? So you came into your medicine womanhood, and then you will come into clan motherhood and things like that, because they wanted to get the hormones out of the way for women for some reason. And then for men, they felt like the men had to be, because of the hormones, they needed to start earlier and be more disciplined, dealing, getting into the secret societies and things, dealing with leading within spirituality. Okay, so this is dropping a little jewel in spirituality there. And this was one of the centers, right? Politics and spirituality became one to one. Did I say that right? Politics and spirituality are intertwined, connected. We don't see that today, but when they speak, the way that they speak, these politicians, they're it's putting you under some type of hypnosis, right? So they know what they're doing. They have certain ceremonies, right? They'll have the ceremony for the president, all these different things. They're having ceremonies, they're doing all these things, and y'all just not realizing what's going on. Okay, so all that's intertwined, and that's what DC was. Capitol Hill, that's the main area where they did, they had their POWs, their meetings, powwows. They had the powwows, their meetings over there. And it was a ceremony, right? And they discussed all the different politics and what they're going to do about warfare, what they're going to do about, during the feeding, during the starving time, how they're going to feed the people, all these different things that they did. And then people would bring their tribute or their taxes to the paramount chief and make sure that he's straight. Okay, because these people had to engage into politics. They couldn't really go out, and they couldn't be out there picking berries and cooking. They couldn't be out there hunting all the time. So they had to bring substance, yeah, I said substance, I said it right, food and things like that. So these people can, just like now, they get paid good money. So the politicians can live and do their thing, right? And a lot of the politicians were also priests and conjurers, and in those type of positions. I'm talking from the perspective of Powhatan and Algonquin society. So the politicians were also conjurers and priests and things like that, right? But give me a thumbs up, y'all. Share the video out. Like the video. When y'all do these things, it brings brings it up in people's feed and stuff, so they can watch my videos and get this information, right? Share it out to everyone so people know. You don't have to keep explaining yourself over and over again about certain things. I know I don't. I'll be like, let me send you this video. It's going to explain to you. So, yeah. And get the children together. Like I said, get them on that challenge. Have them researching local areas and researching the tribes in the areas, and making videos, doing that all summer, because y'all can go to locations now. A lot of the locations are opening it back up, and you see out here, ain't nobody got no mask on. Not one person. They chilling. Oh, there goes sister out there. She doing her thing. Where's she at? There she go. We got some folks out here. But yeah, it's very important for us to come out here and enjoy this, connect. What you're doing is you're connecting back to source. You're connecting back to the great spirit, to God, whatever y'all call it, the universal God. And you're connecting back to your ancestors as well, right? Because they went back to the dirt. So I really appreciate y'all listening to me ramble. I can't see the chat today for some reason. I'm usually on the chat. Y'all know I'd say y'all, I shout y'all out. I answer your questions, but I can't see it today. So please share the video out, like, thumbs up, subscribe, hit that bell button so you can get notifications. I know some of y'all are saying notifications are going out. I know for me, it's the other channels that I subscribe to, I'm not getting notifications either, because YouTube is doing some mess right now, because they're catching up all these people with fake subscribers and fake views, and they basically cutting the revenue and things for those of us who are content creators who are monetized. because of all these people with the fake subscribers and the fake views. So they're flushing out a lot of those channels. Y'all see people losing their channels, talking about, well, they deleted my channel. No, because you had a bunch of bogus stuff, fake subscribers, and you know. So that takes away from the revenues from those of us who have organic audience and who have organic views. A lot of us are getting shadow banned. We're not getting the attention as those other sites because they're in the process of cleansing it out. And they basically have slashed the revenue. Like I wasn't barely getting paid a lot of money, right? So now they're like paying 1 cent. They're giving you like 1 cent per minute per 1,000 views or something crazy like that. 1 cent per 1,000. I think you get like $10 for 1,000 views now. That's nothing, right? It's absolutely nothing. They're already taking 40% of our super chat. They're pimping us. Seriously. So a lot of people were like, especially the people with the bigger channels, they're looking to go somewhere else at this point. So, but I'm not making no money anyway, so I might as well stay where more people can see my information. But yeah, a lot of people getting their stuff cut. As of June 1st, a lot of the channel with the fake views and subscribers. It's because of those people. That's why everybody else is suffering now, because they're making money off of, they'll buy fake views, but then they'll make their money back, probably triple their money. You know, if you're buying they usually buy 16K. Y'all notice some videos they'll just pop up and have, it's been like maybe 20 minutes and they got 16K views already. But they'll usually buy like 16K at a time and whatever. Okay, I'm not gonna keep going down in it, but they'll do that. But then they'll make money back. Maybe they pay $20 for that, but from that $20, they're making $1,000. You know, I don't know. I don't get that many views, so I only got a lot of views on maybe a couple of videos, like my first couple of videos, and then y'all just stopped sharing it or something, or I got shadow banned, one or the other. But I still wasn't making that much. But because of those people who are using the fake views, that YouTube is cutting everybody off at this point. And you know, that's a business move for them, because it's like, oh look, there's a whole bunch of brothers on bikes. What y'all see? It's all brothers. Look at all that. Okay, I spoke too soon today. And look, these dang on people trying to run these brothers off the road. Look how they driving, yo. If y'all notice, look, it's a whole bunch of more. But anyways, y'all notice, like when we walk across the street, especially the brothers, when y'all walking across the street, people act like they want to run you over and like they're not trying to stop the car. It's really ridiculous how much rage and jealousy people have out here. You know, I try to be courteous to everybody. Y'all know I'm not racist anyway. But I try to give people some space when I stop, too. Because you don't want to be all up in people's space. It's not safe. But, I don't know. Some people got animosity. Some people just crazy. But, anyways, what was I talking about? Oh, YouTube. YouTube is on that stuff right now. They wilding out. They mad they had to pay for all these fake views, so they cutting everybody else off. So, but I'll still be here. Like I said, I don't make no money off this anyways. That's why I appreciate the cash apps, you guys. Like, some of y'all are very diligent. I really appreciate it, because then I can buy these books and I can put gas, and then I can pay for these dang on. It's $2.50. Like, no, it's $2.75 per hour parking out here. It's crazy. So I don't pay like $5 something to park out, $5.50 to park out here today. You know, that's ridiculous on a Saturday. They shouldn't be charging people all this money. They know they know what they're doing. And then if you don't pay, they're going to get a ticket for $75. So might as well pay your $5. All right, but I'm going to get off here because I'm rambling now, and I was going on off on YouTube, and they might shadow ban me again even more. Please, that's why you got to share the videos out. Share them out to groups and stuff. I've been trying to share them out to the groups, but I don't know how to share it from here. I got to figure out how to do it on Facebook or whatever. Share it out on Facebook, on Twitter. I see a lot of y'all sharing it out on Twitter for me, because my Twitter is not, I don't have a lot of stuff going on Twitter. Yeah, but I appreciate y'all sharing my videos. That helps to get views. It helps the information get out. Like I keep saying. I keep saying it over and over and over again. But I might go live later. I keep saying that, y'all. Y'all know how I get. I get tired, or I start studying or doing something else. But I might get on later tonight, y'all. Might get on Station Head later tonight. If y'all not following me on Station Head, or you don't have a Station Head, go ahead and get on that. It's really good. And then I can play the music. What I wanted to do was play some of the songs, you know, that have to do with us being indigenous on there. So I might do that tonight, or later tonight. I might get on Station Head. If I do, I'm gonna post it for you guys, okay? I might do it Sunday night. We'll see. Sunday during the day. But yeah, I appreciate y'all listening to me rambling for 86 minutes. I really do. Please share the video out, like, thumbs up, hit the bell button, subscribe. And in the Powhatan language, to say goodbye, we say Ana. So, Ana.